Hello, my name's Whitney and welcome back to Book Talks. So today I have another book for you. I actually don't have the physical book with me because it's actually checked out. I will insert a picture at some point so you can see the actual cover of the book. But the book is called The Silver Phoenix by Sydney Pon. And it is a teen book this time. So we're going to be doing a teen book talk. So this book is super great. It's set in a fantasy fiction world of China back in, I'd probably say about the 1800s or something like that. But basically, in this fantasy world, our main character is named A Ling, and A Ling is a fairly typical Chinese girl, Chinese teenager. At the time in the book, she's about 16 years old. So that's about marriage age. So in her life, it's about her prepping to find a husband, to find, a partner. Her parents are spending a lot of time with like matchmakers and like trying to set her up with like family friends or stuff like that. But it never seems to work out. And it's not always Aileen's fault. It's sometimes, her partners, they just don't like her or they don't think she's suitable for her family. She comes from a pretty good family. Her father was a scholar to the emperor long, long time ago and is retired. But that definitely means that her family was really, education was really important. So she was educated, which isn't normal for Chinese women in this story, in this land. And she's actually a little bit taller. I think she's about 5'8", 5'9". Like, she's tall in this book. She's taller than a lot of the boys that she's getting paired up with. So she believes that's one of the main reasons she's not finding someone. But to be honest, she doesn't want to find someone. She doesn't like the idea of marriage. She doesn't like the idea of popping out a bunch of children. She doesn't like the idea of being trapped, basically. And she thinks that's what marriage is going to be, is like a trap for her. So every time she gets rejected, she's a little bit relieved, but she also knows it's a big disappointment to her family and her parents. She's their only child, so it's her job to get married. Well, her father is called away back to the palace to serve the emperor again, which it was supposed to be a trip that wasn't supposed to last very long, but then months pass and no word from him. So her mother and her start to get worried, and Ailing actually decides that she is going to go to the palace to find him to make sure he's okay. And so the story kind of follows her journey of going there and trying to like see if her father's okay. But throughout this, because it is a fantasy, Ailing starts to feel different, starts to feel like something's going on inside of her. So she's starting to like basically get powers, is what it is. She's gonna start getting some powers that she doesn't know what to do with and how to handle. And those are gonna come in handy on her trip. She runs into a young man named Chen Young and his brother, and they end up joining her on the journey. They're kind of brought together by some weird circumstances, and Ailing's gonna find out that she is one more than she realizes because of her powers, but two, that there is someone not so nice out there trying to find her and trying to basically use her father for blackmail kind of thing. So it gets a little bit darker and twistier, and it's so good. It's so worth the read. It's an oldie. It was, I have to remember the publishing date, but I read it when I was a teenager, and that was a few years ago. So definitely an oldie. But it's so worth the read. And I remember when I first read this, it kind of opened up my eyes to different like cultures a little bit. Obviously, it's a fantasy, but Sydney Pon did try to make sure she added some historical accuracies about like mannerisms and hierarchy and like some of the emperor kind of stuff. So she definitely tries to stick as true as she can to certain things and then adds her own little flair, fantasy. So I think it's one that you guys should check out. We do have it available through our library system. You can put it on hold. Right now it's checked out, but that's totally fine. Put it on hold, check it out. It's totally worth the read. So that's it. That's our book talk. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.